Tammy Slaton from 1,000 Pound Sisters has a new health update, and you guys will not believe it, guys. 1,000 Pound Sisters is back. The new season 3 is here, and some kind of shocking, crazy things that no one really had any idea about actually happened. Number one, Tammy decided to go into rehab. Yes, it was a rehab for overweight people just that have a food addiction, and she actually decided to put herself in it, and so that was a good thing. So good for Tammy. The other good thing is with her health update, she did actually lose some weight. So she went into this facility for 8 weeks, and she ended up losing a little over, I think it was like 59 pounds, almost 60 pounds, which is, pretty great. So good for Tammy. The problem is she went into this clinic and they told her, hey, we want you to stay here until you lose at minimum 100 pounds and you can consider going home. But she got to 60. She was getting homesick. This clinic, this facility was like, 8 hours away. So she was sick of being there. She missed her bed and her family and the dog and everything. So she ended up just sending herself home 40 pounds short. So good for Tammy. I'm happy for her. She lost, about 10% of her weight by losing 60 pounds, which is really good. But unfortunately, she definitely has a long way to go, and she needs to lose a lot more weight. And it just kind of sounds like it from the looks of the upcoming things that we're going to see in this season that she just kind of goes on a downward spiral. But she's optimistic. She thinks she's doing really well, and she can do this well on her own. And she has this kind of a mindset where she says stuff, and I'm just like, Tammy, no. You should definitely 100% not do that. She's talking about how, she can still eat, maybe not, 2 burgers, but she can have 1 burger and this and that. And I'm just kind of like, you should stay away from fast food and all that kind of stuff. And she definitely, if I was Tammy, I would stay there until she lost about 200 pounds at that weight loss clinic. More than likely, the show's paying for it. So I doubt it's some big financial burden for her to do it. And I just think 100% she really should have stayed there longer. But she was homesick. Apparently, she missed them. So Chris, her brother, he drove the 8 hours to bring her there, and he picked her back up 8 weeks later and brought her back to Kentucky. And she's doing okay. So we got to see Tammy. That was it. She admitted that her and Jerry, they're done. She did actually admit that Jerry actually dumped her, which I was kind of shocked by that. We all knew the story that Jerry was married. Apparently he's trying to get a divorce, but he definitely was married when they were filming the show. When he was dating her, he was married. Tammy said that she wanted an engagement ring or a promise ring or an engagement or some kind of a commitment, and he refused to give it to her. And so they ended up going their separate ways and they broke up. And we do now know that she ended up dating another guy named Philip, who I don't think has good intentions, and he's going to be on the show, so we'll see him later in the season. But yeah, so she at this time is single. She's kind of lonely. She's sad. And it's sad to say, but it's like the more weight that Tammy gains, it's just the more angry and just rude and resentful and just not nice she becomes. We're starting to kind of see her and Amy, and they're going in totally different directions. Amy has Gage now. She is doing really well. She's losing a ton of weight. She's looking great. She's pretty positive. She's optimistic. And then you have Tammy, and she's negative. She keeps gaining weight. She's hanging around people she should not be hanging around, and it's just not a good mix. So yeah, her and Jerry, Tammy and Jerry, they're done. It's over. So we got to see Tammy basically, admit herself into this rehab food addiction clinic. That was really cool to see. Then we ended up seeing her, go back. She talked about Jerry. And then we just really got to see her and Amy clash like crazy because, like I said earlier, Amy's living a normal life. She's doing well. And I think Tammy's just extremely jealous that Amy lost the weight and she wasn't able to. And sadly, there was actually kind of more bad news for, Tammy and her family. Obviously, Tammy, she's really not doing well. She just has a lot of issues. We can get more into that in a second. But Chris, her brother, who's usually the optimistic one, he's the happy one, he's the happy-go-lucky one. He's still pretty happy-go-lucky, but he had an issue on his leg. It was nasty, like, oh my, made me cringe. It was just, some kind of an issue thing. He had to get it removed, and because he had to get that removed, he ended up being bedridden for like a month and a half, and he couldn't move, and he gained all the weight back that he ended up losing. If you don't remember, at the end of season 2, Chris lost all the weight to actually get the weight loss procedure, and then he gained it all back. Which, that just sucks. So I feel really bad for Chris. He is such a nice guy, very happy-go-lucky, very optimistic, and then that just happened. But honestly, you guys, the gist of this season is it just looks like Tammy and Amy they're going their separate ways. There was some weird things kind of going on with Amy. Apparently, she does everything for Tammy. Now, I would believe that with little things like laundry and doing the dishes, because Tammy, there's just no way she would ever do that. But there's other little things that involved no physical movement, like calling to get, Tammy's medicine. Amy claims it gives Tammy anxiety, and so she refuses to do it. And for me, it's like, this is just the dumbest thing ever. So we got to see one scene where Tammy was actually filming a YouTube video, which, let me just say one thing, fake, 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 fake. That was the fakest thing ever. So Tammy and Amy both have a YouTube channel. They have their own separate channels. But, if you go on their channel, Amy kind of actually does posts. But she was recording YouTube videos on the show, and they never, ever actually went on her YouTube channel. It was the fakest thing I have ever seen. So she recorded a video saying that Tammy's going to a food addiction clinic, and that video never, ever actually got posted on Amy's YouTube channel because it's a spoiler for the new season, and they can't leak out spoilers. So obviously, it was just like TLC and 1,000 Pound Sisters production crews made her film that for some kind of filler content. I guess it was so fake. Then we got to see Tammy, like, you know, film a YouTube video, same thing, that never actually went on her channel, about her getting rid of everything of Jerry and the exes and everything. It was stupid. But then, you know, Amy ran out because she was like, hey, you know, I'm over here trying to order your medicine, do this, that, and, you know, Tammy wouldn't help her at all. So she needed help. Tammy wasn't going to help her. Then they started to really kind of get at it, and Tammy has no right to yell and scream and get mad. Tammy, I'm sorry, but it's like, Amy's doing a favor for you for free to be nice, and you're just going to scream at her. It makes no sense. It's completely backwards. It makes no sense. So I feel bad for Amy. And then we got to see Amy and Tammy do a confessional kind of talk together. And that's when Tammy just was calling her stupid like 3 different times. And she really made Amy upset. And you can just see, you know, Tammy has this attitude problem. And she's just really not respecting and just being nice to people that are helping her the most. So it's sad, but 1,000 Pound Sisters, you know, I'm so excited for this new season. I think the things we have to look forward to is it does sound like Tammy gets this new boyfriend, and he does actually visit her, and Chris and her sister get super mad because this guy, if you don't already know, he goes by the BBW King on TikTok. He posts a ton of TikToks that if, you know, you're under 300 pounds, he doesn't want to date you and all this kind of stuff, and it's just like, well, they definitely want Tammy to get under 300 pounds, so you can just see he's not good news for her weight loss journey, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see how he interacts with the family. We saw that Jerry, you know, was not good with the family. Jerry was very awkward and uncomfortable, and of course Jerry was also married, so it's kind of like not a good fit with the family. But this new Philip guy, based off the TikToks, it's not looking good for him either. And Amy, it sounds like she's going to be moving, trying to kind of find a new place because she's sick and tired of being so close to Tammy. And Tammy, I wish her well, but I just really think she's going to go in a downward spiral. I have personally not like been in touch with her at all or anything. I know she's told, if you don't already know, she has told me off several times on social media, which is fine, I get it, but it's still, it's like, I have my opinion, she can have hers. I wish her, I really sincerely wish her well. I just think she needs to, you know, be nice to people that are around her and not get so mad and upset and angry, and she would, you know, do really well and try to focus on her weight loss journey, and that'd be great. I really do think Tammy's a nice person. I do wish her well, but I think she can kind of get angry at the wrong people. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.